Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joel, and I'm here on behalf of the Rays of Hope. So, our group we had a campaign, and our topic was depression. And our key message, our aim was to increase the awareness of depression and how to cope with it among our classmates. So we made research. We went and read existing literature about depression, and we got to find out what depression was, mental illness, and we got to also understand that depression is a leading cause of suicidal thoughts among young people. That's why we decided to focus our campaign on our classmates, because they are in the brackets of people who are affected by depression. So we did two situation analysis. We did two sets of situation analyses. I don't know if that's correct, but the first situation analysis was done outside our class. We went and did a random survey of each person. We are 11 people in the group. Each person made a random survey on 10 people on what if they understand what depression is, if they have ever been through depression and all this. And we got results. Over 70% of the people who had participated in that survey were agreeing that they had been through depression and did not know what to do. However, because we wanted to concentrate on our class, we had to do a second situation analysis. But then the second situation analysis came in when we decided to have partners who were the counseling department of UCU. That was Uncle Joseph Musalawa and Madame Irene Nawire. These are the two counselors for UCU counseling department. And in this situation analysis, we got to learn about the different modes of depression. Now there are very many different modes. There are a couple of different modes of depression, and this is the graph that shows the results that come from the situation analysis we did in our class, the survey you people took part in, and of course you are not so happy about. We had the normal mood disorder that is represented by the blue on the pie chart, and that amounted to 36 students, because our situation analysis that we did in the class, only 77 people participated. So 36 of these people had just normal mood disorders. There is mild mood disturbance, and this amounted up to 35 people. We have moderate depression. Those were just a minute. Moderate depression, those were 28%. Those were 13 of our classmates. We had severe depression. These were 6 of our classmates. And we had the extreme depression. That was only one person who has extreme depression in our class. So the scope of the problem is that depression is a serious issue present in the society, but not clearly addressed. Therefore, information and solutions about it need to be aired out and accessible to students. Our problem statement was depression is one of the leading causes of withdrawal, suicidal thoughts, drug abuse, and emotional instability among the youth. Many youth know or have an idea about depression and its signs, but very few know how to cope or handle it. So our objectives were to increase awareness about depression among the students and to equip students with information about how to deal with depression. Our target audiences, initially we thought we would work with all these people. We worked with the counseling department, but we thought we would work with Alan Galpin, but we realized that we didn't need Alan Galpin in this campaign. And that was our internal audience, and our external audience were the students of mass communication third year. Our key message was don't be silent. Depression is a silent killer. The channels that we were supposed to use were online digital flyers. We had to do we wanted to work with in the Health Awareness Week, and also use the leaders, the class representatives of our class, and also have a video clip. So this is unfortunately, because of the challenges faced by our campaign and the team, we were not able to do an evaluation, and I'm going to talk about those challenges when I'm done with everything. So since we did not do an evaluation, we couldn't have a what next. So that is, in summary, what our campaign was about. So the pictures I'm going to show you are they characterize the evidence that we have the evidence we have on how we conducted our campaign. First, we had a seminar which went on in our class, and we had Uncle Joseph Musalawa of UCU Counseling Department come and talk to our classmates. So this is Uncle Joe talking to our classmates. Yes, and those are the members of the class that participated in the seminar. So I'm going to talk about the challenges and the challenges vis-a-vis how our campaign went and everything that was characterized in our campaign. We had so many challenges, that's the first thing. And these challenges amounted to us not knowing if we actually attained the objectives of our campaign. The first challenge was poor time management by the entire group. This is because when we set meetings, different members of the group would show up at the times they wanted. So that was one of the big challenges. Another challenge was we did not understand what was priority to us. The campaign, which was going to characterize with our education and our other personal things. So that also amounted to failure to meet our objectives. And then failure of group members to do what they were assigned to do. Hence, our campaign was not successful. In my view, our campaign was not successful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
I'd like to elaborate better on the situation analysis of the one the class participated in. That is the survey that happened in class that people were adamant about when they found out about it. So in general, the results we got back from the counseling department were it was carried out among 77 students, the ones who willingly participated in it. And then it shows that 100 of them have different levels of depression. That is 36%, that's 28 students, and 35%, 27. The 36 are with normal mood disorder. That's the normal mood swings you normally have. Everyone has that. Then the 35%, that's mild mood disturbance. Those were the biggest number in our class. Then we'd have the borderline depression, that is 8%. So 6 students have borderline depression. That is, you're hitting the actual point of depression. You're not there yet, you're just on the line to it. And then there's the 17%, that's 13 of you with moderate depression. You aren't that, you have depression, you're not severe into it. I'd say you're on the first step of depression. You're not deep into it, but you actually need, if you're in that percentage, you'd actually need to talk to a counselor, maybe once. Then there's the severe depression, that is the 2%. Those are 2 students. Your depression is actually serious. So you have issues that you don't know you're dealing with, or you have them, but you don't want to accept about it, so you need to talk to someone about it. Then the 1%, that's 1 student. Apparently, the only information I can give you about that is the 1 person is a person who didn't write their name on the paper. So whoever it is aware that they have depression, and they really need to see the counselors about it. So that was the analysis that happened in the mass comm class, in this class. Then I'd like to talk about the budget. We have a budget of flyers, airtime, survey papers. I'd say that's one thing we managed to do. We did not have to imply our budget, so we didn't have costs to it. We designed our own flyers. We paid for the survey papers. We all paid for our own survey papers. So the cost was personal. No airtime was used. Flyers were all online, so we didn't have to print anything, since our audience was our class, and all have class groups and WhatsApp groups. Then our implementation plan took 8 days, from 8th June to 20th June, where it involved, the first thing, we had an appointment with the counseling department. We met with Uncle John and Madam Irene to pitch our idea to them. The second day, we carried out a joint survey on the external, that's our first survey, where we personally took outside our class. We had a survey of everyone had 10 subjects. We took it out, we picked it up, and what was about the normal things about survey, about depression. What is depression? What do you think it is? Do you have any clue what it is? Those were questions we had. The second time, we collected survey results. After the survey we did in class, we collected survey results from the department. That's when we came out with our situation analysis, where we were given the results, which, for the comfort of your minds, we have no idea what happened with it. We just got the results. Then the printing of flyers and everything, that was done. We printed flyers. We made our own flyers online. We didn't have to print them, so no costs were incurred. Then the distribution and circulation of flyers to target audiences. We did distribute to both the main class group and the communication group. We did post them on statuses and all those. Then finally, we had the seminar with Uncle Joe in class, the one where he came to class and talked about depression in depth for those who attended, which honestly, it wasn't the entire class. So those who attended understood and got an in-depth situation. And then the evaluation to us. Okay, I'm not sure about Jul, but to me and the rest of us, one of the questions was, did you reach the target audience of 130 students? Yes, we did, because everyone in class knew about the depression campaign. People outside our class, this was our audience, not outside. So obviously, to us, we know people in our class knew about the campaign. So we did achieve that. Then a student sharing issues with the counselors, no, they're not. I confirmed with the secretary of the department, no one has gone to talk about it to them. So that's a no for that. Is a target audience utilizing the hotline and email? We did provide the hotline, but no one is using it as per now. Is the counseling department providing adequate services? Yes, they are. They have full-time services. For what? That depression, because they were on board on it. But the issue is no one has actually contacted them about it. What next is ensure that the students are aware of the solutions to depression. We are continuing to plan, and we intend to actually make up a platform for after this, for the depression in UCU, not just our class since we're going to leave. We suggested it with the Department for Counseling to actually leave it, them in charge of it, the social media pages of Twitter and Facebook. Then remind the target audience about the hotline. That is going to be on the social media pages, reminding you about the emails and the hotlines. Then the challenges we faced, I would say, yes, we're not that united in group, but
okay.
At some
I
point,
suggest we leave the challenges. Huh?
okay,
Yeah,
the
because
success.
I would discover that with your group, whenever you come challenges, you're mentioning internal challenges than external challenges, which is not good.
Well, I wanted to
Okay.
say more
No.
about the external one.
I think let us go into the question time,
Okay.
and the questions will bring out more information that you might need to bring. In fact, they will act as points of reminder,
Okay.
so that we get much more feedback from you. Yes, any questions?
I know. Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned about the survey that was in class and the results. Some people were depressed then like that. So I would like to know whether you'll be able to identify those of us who had issues such that we are helped, or it's I don't know. Because personally, if I was, then I would need help.
Okay.
Yep.
To answer that, when we had that survey in class, we clearly stated we didn't go through your papers. Due to the what? The privacy. You all complained about you didn't want us to go through your stuff and privacy, so we did respect that. If you want to find out that information, that's why your names are written. All you have to do is go to the department, ask for your name, and they will tell you which stage you lie in.
Okay.
We are not in charge of that.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to know that.
Questions? Reactions, word of encouragement?
I'd like to congratulate Rays of Hope on how far they've reached with their campaign. It wasn't easy, but I'm happy that you're here and you're done.
Okay, let's have Mr. Chima. I will go last.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. I think it has been good, and well, creating that self-awareness. You know, some people are depressed, but they are not aware. I've just informed someone that you look depressed, but boy, the person is not aware. I think I could be having maybe like 2 or 3 comments. I'll go in order a bit. The first slide, I think it's the first slide. Yeah, okay, no. The third. Yeah. That is not the third, the introduction thing. My dear, this is a slide, but it's so loaded. So you see the wording was copy and paste from MS Word to PowerPoint. your audience don't have such time to read through all those kind of things. So you, in your PowerPoint presentation, you just have the highlights. For example, what is depression, whatever, whatever. Then if you find that you mention in that first slide of introduction, you're talking about depression, but there are no reference points. Like as in, if someone wants to read more on depression, and I remember when Mr. Kasano was presenting, was saying this is a serious issue in society, but there are no, we do not have any statistics to show the magnitude of the whole issue. So this is very, very important, that even your audience gets to know that what we are dealing with is a matter of life and death. But if you just go on just talking those statements which are not, with no empirical evidence, yeah, then things are not well researched, if I may say. Someone would wonder if you really did some kind of research to inform your basis for that. I'm not so good at research, and I'll seek guidance from Dr. Namsog and Mr. Mwanya. I do not know if we have random survey. Maybe it's there, but I don't know. Do we have random survey?
Yes, we did.
Please take some time and try to read about surveys and see if we have random surveys. I'm not so good. I'm a beginner, so I don't want to say either I'm right or wrong, but please do read if we have random surveys anyway. The university counselor, I don't know if he changed his name, but what I know is Joseph Musalo, not Musalawa. Probably changed the name a few days ago, and I'm not aware. But please, those are some of the facts that you need to have, because if you get the person's name wrong, then the people who are reading this information, there is a way how your work loses credibility and the seriousness that comes with it. If you can get someone's name wrong, then what content do you have? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joseph, and thank you to Rays of Hope. You guys don't look hopeful at all. You need to take some of your own advice, you know, and just cheer up. These things happen all the time, but it's not the end of life, you know, so cheer up. And as Ashley said, congratulations on coming this far, you see. So thank you for your presentation. Just one or two comments or maybe questions, but I think you could have, I don't know if it was because of lack of time, but you could have come up with a slightly more interesting PowerPoint presentation. Given the nature of the subject that you're dealing with, you could have played around with that visually to just take us out of that mood and bring us into something more visually appealing. So you could have done better that way. And then you mentioned several challenges. My question would be, how did you deal with those challenges? Did you overcome them? Did you overcome some? How did you deal with them?
Yes, I would like to disagree with the notion that your campaign had, first of all, nothing to offer, or even that was not successful. By the mere fact that you rallied up people to come and attend the sensitization session by Mr. Msalo, yeah, that means that you need something, okay? And if you remember, I tried advising your group that it was important that, first of all, that you carry out a situational analysis as a build-up to that sensitization, okay? Yeah, I said that it was not taken seriously, but if you had done that, and in fact we have been saying this, that you try and keep your campaigns as simple as possible. Around Mr. Musalo, your campaign was complete, I'm telling you. You know that? Because what are your objectives? One of them was, I think, about sensitizing people about the services available. He could answer that question.
Yes.
What was the other objective?
The one was to increase awareness about depression. That's the first one.
He also did that.
Yes.
So where's the problem?
Well,
You people, you are defeating your own selves. You want to do something very, very complicated, and as a result, you end up fighting and losing focus. Your campaign was meant to be successful by that visit, which was realized, by the way. Okay? And I like that at the end you've been able to show us a breakdown of those questions. The hotline, the what. Yeah, all of those are also areas of assessment. So don't think this one here was not successful. For me, I think it was meant to be successful if you had stayed focused. I think you had much more focus on fighting rather than on making progress. If you had focused on progress, this campaign would have been a success in every way. I would also like to find out, you have been giving us stats about the problem cases that were found, and I think there should have been work around that. So the question is as to whether that work was done. I hope it was done anyway, but there was supposed to be some work around that, okay? I don't want to be passing on advice, but if you sit down and think very clearly, you would have come up with a solution to this, okay? Definitely, you have a what next, and you're telling us that you have been having social media?
yes.
Pages and what? Those that you want the counseling department to continue managing, okay? I would advise that don't leave it to them yet. You're still here, okay? Yeah, you carry on with it until, in fact, it would mean that you're carrying on with it while you're doing your work, but also sensitizing them on how they can keep it active. You're the experts. You brought Mr. Musala as the counseling expert, but then you're the communication experts. So you need to train them so that this does not die off. Yeah. Do we have any questions? Otherwise, it seems like we have come to the end. Yeah, I would like someone who has very nice words to.
I have something about when Madam Namsoga said how
You have some reactions? When you're done, then we wrap up.
How we handled our challenges. Yes, most of them were internal, so to get to this point, some of us had to take an extra weight to get to this, which some of us realized that the fighting part, trying to pull our people isn't going to really bring. So some of us had to take extra roles to do this. So that's how we handled some of the internal challenges. And the external challenges it was a sensitive campaign that deals with people's personal lives. So we did get various rejections, like people are not open about it, people didn't want to be involved in it. So that's why we have, in a class of out of 130, we actually got, you would see the percentage we got 77 students. So that really kind of hindered us to actually get the full span of everything. So with the challenges, we accepted what we got with it and decided the smaller the group, the better it is, since it's not that much, and so that's how we handled our challenges about it. Okay, I think that's it. If there are no more questions.
There's that question that must every campaign be successful? So that is food for thought, okay? Yeah, I would like to get someone who is going to thank, from the onset, I informed you that I have got support from the very start until now. I was supposed to be the lecturer and also teaching assistant for this course, but we have been helped along the way. At first was Dr. Namusoga, and then also Mr. Chiva has come on board. Therefore, I think it is in order that we get someone to give, what do we call it? A word of thanks.
First of all, I would like to thank our lecturers. You have been patient with us. I should start with Mr. Mulwanya. We call you at any time. You pick up our calls. You answer WhatsApp messages. All of these things, we appreciate them. They have brought us to where we are and to an understanding of all the course units we have basically been studying and how to apply them and whatnot. I also thank Dr. Namusoga. She's been patient with us. Even when I remember one time in class, we got a little out of hand, but she handled us in a very motherly way, which is amazing. Okay, I had to stand, sorry. I also want to thank Mr. Kiva for making time. He would possibly be doing so many other things, but he came here, spared his time, almost the whole day. And yes, listened to what we had to say and commented and advised us. Generally, also thank the faculty for giving us this opportunity to have this course unit. I don't think it's in every university where they give you the opportunity to put all your skills out there. We have been allowed to use cameras. We have been given computers to use. They'll just tell us, do what you can and go away. But allowing us to set the bar as high as we can for ourselves and challenge ourselves to do better, I think has been something that has been really outstanding. And I thank all the students, all the members of the different groups for putting their heart into this, for putting as much effort as they can, because really you can see the bar has been set higher, I think. I think people have put in a lot of effort. Some people didn't sleep last night and all these things to make sure that their work is ready. And yeah, it doesn't come as nothing. But to my colleagues and my classmates, I think this is a time for us to evaluate ourselves and say, okay, during this campaign, what was my role and how much did I do? If I was a PRO of a company and I had a campaign to handle myself, how much would I do and how much would I fail to do? The grades can come through, but the moment of reality is now. And we thank God that we are alive to see this. And 25th October, here we come. Thank you.
Okay, we have come to an end of this exercise. Yes, we have come to the end of this exercise, but I would like to extend our thanks to the e-learning staff. That is Mark and Dorothy. Of course, it is Mark who is still here with us. Yeah, for their time, for the patience, and for enabling us to encounter the usage of the high of the state, high of the state equipment. Yeah, you can say state of the art equipment. Thank you very much. So we are ending here, but this is to remind you that you are going to submit your PowerPoints. I already created an assignment where you can upload this. It's okay for you to make improvements and then upload, okay? And definitely we have videos that we might need to to have access to, especially the one which has the step-to-step instructions on how to vote, especially that one, and there might be also other important ones. So make them available to us so that we can put them on the e-learning platform for future reference. Email? Yeah. Yes, you are going to email the PowerPoints, but you also have the option of emailing them. Either you upload or you email the PowerPoints. You're going to email the PowerPoints to, you can note this, aramluanya@gmail. You can email your PowerPoints to that email ID, aramluanya@gmail. Yeah, let the first attempt be, in fact, you can do both, okay? Yeah, do both. If you're successful on the e-learning platform, you also proceed to email as well, okay? Yeah, but if you fail completely to upload on the platform, then you email. But please, first make the first attempt of uploading on the platform your revised versions of the PowerPoints after all these reactions that you've had today. Okay, have a nice time. We meet next week. Yes, let's leave this place in an orderly way.